There it is. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Tell me hi when you jump on. Let me know how you're doing, what you're working on. I was trying something new here to figure out if I could get my whole comments thing going a little more accurately, but I've been so far unsuccessful. And now it froze on me. Here we go. I think maybe I got it. All right, there we go. Hi, Julie, Mom, Joyce, Nicole, Marcina, Charlene. Love the pink and orange yarn for the cowl. Excellent. You're talking about the pendenza? It's good stuff. Ah, apparently I've been sitting too long. My lights went off. Oh, it's always fun with me, isn't it? Should tell your friends to log in and watch just for some entertainment for the evening. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Cindy, Julie, Debbie. Tammy, you're watching me on your TV. How do I look in high def? I was just telling Melissa I need to do better about covering up the bangs out of my eyes. I'm sure they look massive if I'm up on your TV. Hi, Sherry. Okay, we got a minute or two. So tell me what you're working on. I have to finish the end of my row of my flipping sideways sweater. Hi, Jackie. Bonnie, coming to Saginaw tomorrow. Are you going to be around on Wednesday? I won't be here tomorrow in the shop. I might be able to make something work though. You have to let me know. Hi, Jackie. Very fancy. Yeah, well, you know, I do what I can. Working on Joanne's market bag. Joyce did this market bag. It's like a knitted mesh reusable bag. And I ordered more linen for her to do some more. And I think it would be a really cool class. One, starting a project in the round, but two, just it's a fun technique, and working with linen is a whole new thing all on its own too. Bonnie, going up to Frankfurt. Okay. Hi, E, working on another ranunculus. Awesome. Mom, starting fireworks on the sides. Oh, you're getting there. That's good. Haha. Can you guys tell I'm knitting backwards, or does it just look like I'm like regular throwing? I can't stand purling. Not only can I not stand it, I'm a lot, my gauge, let me change how I say that. My gauge is a lot looser when I purl traditionally. If I knit backwards, my gauge stays a lot more consistent. All right, to the end of my row. Bonnie started a second Sonoma shrug. Ooh, so what kind of yarn are you using for the second one? I'm curious. We've only done it in the luminosa, everybody that's done it, so we get that big fuzzy hazy texture to it. I'm curious to know what you're using to make the next one. Hi, Cora from Rainy. Oh, it's beautiful here. It's rainy in Virginia. That's, well, maybe you guys need it. Okay, let's 7:01. So I will officially get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. My name is Kristen. I am the owner of the Little Yarn Shop in downtown Saginaw, Michigan. Shop's open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I go live every Monday at 7. Well, I try to make it at 7. Most nights it works, most weeks. I will not be live on Labor Day. I mentioned that last week, but I figured I better mention it again too. What else? If you're watching this on a replay, let me know in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. If you're from out of town, and let me know what projects you're working on. Rosaria from Howell, hello. Cora, you did need it, that's good. Jackie got the first section of the snorkel meter. And Typhoon, ooh, look at you casting out new projects. Holly, Saginaw yarn, purple yarn, oh, sweet. Everybody's working on some good stuff. Oh, Bonnie, I saw you got some more luminosa, cool. I have a little bit left, but I don't know if I have enough of any one color to do any more of those. They're such a cool pattern though. Okay, so today is August 16th. I am going to try and keep this under a half an hour if I can. Victoria, my daughter, has dance tryouts. She's already on the competitive team. Now she has tryouts for additional dances. So she's been at the studio since 4:30 and they're done at 7:45. So I have to wrap things up and get over there. Luckily, it's just like 5 minutes away. So not bad at all. Kathy working on a reversible octopus. Ooh. Is it knit or crochet? That's kind of cool. Lisa still working on fireworks, got to the sleeves. Yay. Lisa, you asked where Karen was on hers. She is really trying to perfect her increases. So she ripped back to the last set of increases where you split for the arms, and she's been fighting with her math a little bit on that, but it'll get there. All right. So I didn't even put my shawl on that I was supposed to be wearing. You guys, I'm slacking. I got so busy talking to Melissa about what we were going to talk about. I forgot to do what I was talking about. So it's been chilly in the evenings. It's shawl weather. I think shawl weather and sweater weather are really my favorite time of year. I don't like winter and a lot of snow, but like football season and camping this time of year, when once the sun goes down, it starts to get a little chilly and you can throw something on. It's my favorite time of year. So I am wearing the Inspire, Create, Repeat shawl by Jen Chapman, who is a Michigan designer. She just popped in the shop during the yarn crawl, so a couple weeks back, and we got talking about samples that she's done, patterns that she's designed. And so she was kind enough to let me have this here on display at the shop. I don't have the yarn that she used specifically, but I have something very, very similar. But it takes 3 skeins of a sport or a DK weight yarn. Starts in this little area here. Triangular, sort of asymmetrical, but not really. Jen, thank you. It's a beautiful pattern. I think it would look amazing on a lot of people. And wearing shawls, by far, this is my favorite way to wear them, with the point kind of down in front and the tails off to this around the opposite way. It makes it look more like a big, cozy, uh-oh, did I freeze on you guys? It says I'm freezing. Hang on. Got it. You guys, let me know when I'm back looking live with you. Oh, Lisa, you say you can still see me. I can't see anything on my screen here. Let's try this again. I'm sorry, you guys. See anything on my screen here? Ooh.
Things are looking good on our end, Kristen.
They are? Okay, I just can't, it keeps logging me off and logging me back on. Super weird. Okay, I think maybe I've got it now. Like I said, always entertaining. Okay, as long as we keep seeing, somebody put something in the comments so I can at least make sure that I'm seeing comments and some sort of real time. Please. I tell you what. Okay, now I see everybody's stuff. Okay, I see Cora says I look marvelous. The comments must be back because that's, yeah, it's meant to be seen. Okay. Oh, you guys, it's always fun. So I was saying about wearing shawls, whether they are triangular shawls, even if they're slightly asymmetrical like this one is, it feels more modern to wear a shawl this way. It fits well under a coat if you do get to the point where you need a coat on and you want to be just snuggled up in something. Even though my hair is long, my neck gets cold. I end up wearing my hair up a lot too. My neck gets cold, so I like stuff like this around. But in addition to just wearing it like you would, like this, embellishing it a little bit with something like a shawl cuff, whether it's a leather one, like this one. Well, there's the back, there's the front. I have a few of these here in the shop. They're by a Michigan woman. I don't know what her name is. The company is Whimsy and Company. Upcycled leather shawl cuffs. So she finds really cool old leather belts and puts the little snaps on them, and you get this cute little look. And then if you wanted to use scraps, Melissa just posted a link to a knit ribbed shawl cuff pattern, which would be fun too. You could make a whole bunch of little ones and either match them, coordinate them, or have something completely contrasty so it could really show it off. Melissa liked to tuck the tails under the front flat part. This way, yes. And you can kind of, if you tie them loosely, then they stay out of the way. My other favorite way, if I am inside and wearing a shawl, and I'll do this a lot in the shop. Let's see if I can do this without knocking anything over. And this one's a nice big one. You need the ones with the long tails on there. But if you put it on like you would the traditional shawl over the shoulders, I may have to stand up for this. Get a real close up of me. How about that on your TV screen, Tammy? So 2 options. One, if the tails are long enough, you can crisscross them this way and knot in the back. Like learning how to braid my own hair. And many of you, if you've been in the shop lately, you see Karen wearing her shawls a lot this way. It keeps the tails out of the way, keeps your shoulders warm, almost like a shrug. Melissa, be careful buying leather cups from other vendors on Etsy. I bought one and it was cigarette smoke filled. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, so Jen says, love making them into shrugs. So that way is kind of the wrappy way. The other way is just to take them around your shoulders and tie it this way. I'll just tie it loosely, but you get that little cowly, not cowly, shrug look. Everything's out of the way, so you're not, I can wear this style a lot when I'm at the shop and not feel like I'm fighting with the ends of my shawl. So all kinds of good ways to wear things. You guys let me know if you'd be interested in me putting kits together for this. Victoria and I played around a little bit. I do have a few kits back there in colors very similar to this. I think it would look fantastic in our merino alpaca yarn, the sport yarn that's along up there, the top row up there. Essentially, it would take 100 grams each of 3 colors. All right, I'll stop fussing with it now. Okay, now I don't see any more comments, you guys. What happened? It is just a technical difficulties kind of day. Nothing is working the way I want it to. Oh well. While I'm playing around with this, you guys tell me in the comments if you prefer fixed or interchangeable needles or straights or double points, or if you have certain projects that you really gravitate to certain types of needles. Like I know Joyce loves Magic Loop and uses her Chowgu long interchangeable needles for pretty much anything. I'm curious to know what everybody else is, what you guys gravitate to. Cora, knitting on an Appalachian shawl. Oh, how apropos. Okay, froze for a minute, but back up. Interchangeable Chowgus, yes. So maybe next week, I had pulled a whole bunch of different needles because I carry here in the shop Knitter's Pride, Haya, and Chowgu interchangeables, both kits and individual things. And I was going to kind of go over some of the drawbacks and benefits of each of them, but I think that'll take more time than I have tonight. So decided not to talk about that. Julie, mindfulness and the Chowgu, Debbie, interchangeable. Can't get the Magic Loop. We need to get Joyce to teach another class on Magic Loop. Melissa, circulars. Yes, interchangeables, circulars. I'm not knocking straight needles. People that use them love them. I call them proper knitters, not like proper fancy, but in that they tend to be the people that either prop their straight needle either under their arm or on their stomach. But it's interesting. Everybody's style is a little bit different. Well, all of that was about what I'm wearing. I did not finish anything like to completion, but I did finish the first clue for the Casapinka mystery knit along. So if you haven't seen me post about it at all, it's a mystery knit along is an adventure. If you are somebody, and she says this right in the introduction, if you are somebody who needs to know exactly how a project is going to look when you're done, a mystery knit along is probably not for you. If you like to have a little adventure, and if you like being entertained by snarky, stupid humor, I guess is the way to put it, the Snarkometer pattern is a good one. So the way it works is starting this past Saturday, every Saturday for 6 weeks, we will get a clue to or instructions for a section of this wrap. So I can tell you it's going to be a long rectangle and approximately 20 inches wide and like 60 some inches long. So the first clue came out on Saturday, which we were up at the campground. We have no service up at the campground. So I pretty much drained my battery trying to check all day to see when she had released it into my Ravelry library so I could get the update. And then I hurried up, and even though I downloaded it to my phone, I took screenshots so I could still get access to it. But this is what I have so far. So I talked about the kits last week. It calls for 4 skeins of yarn fingering weight. The yarn that that Dream in Color put together is Suzette. They call it a light sport. It's somewhere between a heavy fingering weight and a light sport weight yarn. I didn't want to pull from one of the kits that I had here because I didn't have very many left. So I wanted to make sure everybody that wanted one got one. So I pulled colors from the wall. And also one of the things that I wanted to show was how 4 different base yarns. So all 4 of my yarns are sock yarns. 2 of them are by Ridiculous. Oh, there you go. Melissa just put a link to the Craft Along group in there. If you're not a part of that and you're doing this knit along, or if you do any future knit alongs with us, be sure to request to be added to that group. And we just have a little chat in there about different things. So these 2 yarns are both by Ridiculous Yarns. One is a sparkle. Lisa, this color should look familiar to you and your husband. It's your husband's sock color. This one is just her standard sock. I can't remember what she calls it. Addie. So it's a merino nylon. I'm trying not to take the tag out of the middle. 75-25 merino nylon blend. This one's called Amok Amok. And this one is, oh, look, Another Glorious Morning. Makes me sick. Isn't it beautiful? So those are the 2 from Ridiculous. But they're 2 different bases. So the yarn itself is spun differently. So that's 2. And then I have a skein of Dream in Color Smushy with Cashmere. Look at that. Guys, this is really why I gravitate to tonals and semi-solids versus the heritage solids. I mean, the heritage solids are great. They make your project much more budget friendly, but the variation that you get in a hand-dyed skein of yarn, look at that. It just looks like fresh raspberries to me. And I was trying to remember what this color is. Karen talked me into it because she really, really, really wanted to see red knit up. It is, oh, Raspberry Blaze, imagine that. This color of this yarn was the reason I started carrying this yarn in the shop. Way back when I was at the old shop, Barbara, we call her Barbara Bacon. Barbara from Makin' Bacon needed a skein of this to finish a project. And she was begging and begging and begging me to get an account and order the yarn. So for this color, so Smushy with Cashmere Raspberry Blaze. And it has been one of the most popular colors I've got here. So that is Merino Cashmere Nylon. And then my last color is, it's got fuzzies on it. It was camping with me. This pretty tangerine color. This one is from Ice Melon Stash, Dana. It used to be Ice Melon Stash. Now it's Supernova Dye Works. And this is her Desmo sock. So it's 80% superwash, 20% nylon in the color Hayride. So 4 different yarn bases. So when you're thinking about putting together yarns for a shawl, are they going to knit up a little bit differently? Yes. If you were knitting a project that was larger that you really needed to pay attention to gauge, I would tell you to be more cautious. But something like this, they're all fingering weight yarn. They all have some component of wool and nylon. And I think it's kind of cool to see how they work together. Obviously, I haven't gotten into that one yet. Jen, have that one works wonderfully, both knit and crochet. Yes, 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 yes. I love the red. So I was pretty excited. There was one little hiccup, well, not hiccup, but this little section in here was not my favorite. But what is really cool is that she gives you an alternative stitch pattern to do for those 2 rows. If you decide you do not want to tackle that, it's a little bit of a stranded stranded color work in there, just one row, that's it. And then some chevrons and some slip stitches. It's not too late to join. The pattern is still available. If you bought it now on Ravelry, or anytime really between now and when the knit along is done, you will get whatever's been released up to that point. So I told myself I was going to try and prolong this, so I had a little bit done every day until this coming Saturday, but clearly that didn't happen. Plus, my daughter is driving now. She needs a lot of driving hours for the first segment of driver's training. So I got to knit on our hour ride home from the campground this morning. I'm really going to love that. So I'm working on that. That's kind of my something I finished. Melissa, slip stitch section isn't my favorite to do, but it's so pretty. If you are a thrower or an English style knitter, slip stitches are a lot like ribbing. It's a lot of moving the yarn back and forth. Be a good reason to learn how to knit continental a little bit. Or some people like Bonnie, I know, flicks. And on YouTube, Very Pink Knits has like a slow motion video on how she really just moves her one finger. They call it flicking, and she just moves it like this. And it's much more efficient. I don't know. I tried it, but I'm not really good using the yarn in my right hand at all. I was a crocheter. I don't know if that makes a difference. But it's all just in what you're comfortable with. And it's about the finished project, the finished product, knowing that it's going to be something that's beautiful makes it worth the effort. Okay. Hopefully I'm still connected. My earbud was about to die. So I got so busy talking, I started another row, so I can't show you guys this all the way, but I'm working on my slipping sideways. Look at, I have the second side started, and you can actually see more of it now. So you can see, well, that's the back. That's the front. I'm getting there. I think this is a fabulous pattern and would look amazing on pretty much everybody. This design is so smart. It's flattering for any shape. There are so many fun yarns you could do with this. Use for this. So it recommends, or it leans itself well to a variegated and a solid. So I'm using Cascade Heritage solids as the green, and then a Heritage hand paints for the variegated. Portuguese knitting is flicky like that. Yes, Tammy, that is true. I've tried that a little bit. I just default back to what I do on a normal basis. And I did remember to bring my still water with me to show you what progress I do have. It's growing. So this was Marie Green's first 4-day knit along sweater that she did 5 years ago, called the Stillwater. It's got these little detail down the front. Otherwise, it's just straight stockinette. There's no body shaping to it. I'm really not alternating skeins of yarn a lot. This is what I have left of my second ball, and I need to wind my third hank. So I'm ready. I'll do a couple rows where I'll knit back and forth with the new yarn, knit back and forth with this one to blend it a little bit. I just want to make all the things. Oh, you guys. This is what happens when I hold stuff up to the light. I see a little stitch right here. I did something. What did I do? Only me. Can you guys see that? That one little thing right there? What is it? That is where, when I was knitting, I only got one strand of this yarn. So what makes this, of course, I don't have the label here. It's the Earth Harvest DK yarn. Nope, Harvest worsted. What makes it wear so nicely and feel so squishy is the fact that it's a whole bunch of little plies. Apparently, in that one little place, my needle only snagged one of like the 12 plies. Jen says, oh no, but easy fix, yes. So what am I gonna do? I will figure out my way up here. I'll put a removable stitch marker around that stitch. I will drop down and I will crochet it back up. I'll use my little stitch saver, my little handy tool. Those things are amazing. But essentially, I know it scares people to do that, but you can put a stitch marker on the stitch right below it too. That way, you know it's not going to drop any further down. But really, if you've crocheted at all, it's basically like I say like a crochet chain, but Jen described it more accurately, like a slip stitch all the way back up. A crocheted slip stitch essentially creates what looks like a knit stitch. So, Melissa, will you please, when you send me a text after this, will you remind me that I need to put a stitch marker in there? Because otherwise I'll forget. So those are the things I'm working on. I wanted to ask two things of you all. One, if you're local, I want to know if you would be curious in taking a dyeing class, a yarn dyeing class. Karen taught one pre-pandemic, and I think it would be fun to do another one. We can use the demo kitchen here at the marketplace, and she will use, they're all food safe dyes, and there are techniques to make sure that they are color fast, and it was a lot of fun the last time she did it. So let me know if that's something that you would be interested in taking. Lisa, I figured you would say yes. You were one of the ones on my mind for sure. We'll keep it small, but last time I think she pretty much took the afternoon, took over the demo kitchen and had a good time. People who were coming in and out of the market got to learn a little bit too. They got to see people playing with yarn in a fun and different way. Melissa, bring my other Grand Rapids friend. There you go. We'll make it on a day when you guys can come over here. Excellent. That's good to know. My other question for, I guess you don't have to be specifically local, but if any of you know a dyer who is local, I know that there are quite a few Michigan dyers, but I really don't know. Caitlin from Mint Rain used to live in Midland, which was nice and close. I don't know of a hand dyer who is right in this area. I'd love to be able to say I have something that's from a local dyer or a local farm. I may know who to talk to about that. Huh. Now I'm thinking, uh-oh, watch out. Melissa, could we do it at retreat? Ooh, that's a good idea. Karen, I think we got a project for you. You know, she doesn't comment on here, but she watches after if she's not watching during, because she's the one that puts my notes together for Victoria to upload. So we'll make sure she's on board with that. I think it would be fantastic for the retreat. So if you know a local dyer, let me know, have them reach out to me. I think it would be at least worth looking into. So one last thing I wanted to talk to you about was I was getting ready to wind this hank of yarn for my sweater. I put it on the Swift and then I took it back off because I wanted to, Holly, don't forget us non-retreaters. No, we won't. I'm sure I can talk her into doing it more than once. So yarn, yarn, yarn. When it comes in a hank like this, sometimes you guys have us wind it here. Sometimes you take it home. Either way, sometimes it works great, sometimes not so much. So one of the things that I do, and it's again, one of those things I just do second nature because I think I've learned my lesson enough. When you take apart when it's all twisted up like this and you untwist it, I almost always find one of the ties, there are a couple of these ties on there, and I will hold the hank from that tie. What does that do? As long as you don't swing it around too much, it doesn't make too much of a mess. There is more than one tie on here, but I carefully will look at this from all sides to make sure that, see how that tie goes straight across? You should be able to see it go straight across. But if I turn and look at this way, you see that little guy right there? This little thing right there will cause you a world of headaches. That one little strand. See how it's going one way and then going back the other way, doubled back on itself? It needs to be over on the other side. I can double check that with my other tie too. Down here. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little floppy, but the Swift will, or if you use the back of chairs, that will help things out a little bit. So once I straighten that out, I can see that goes straight across that way, straight across that way. I almost always check to make sure. That is one of the things that will trip you up. For us, it makes a big mess. If you're hand winding, it's not as big a deal because you can still pass the ball through on the Swift or around the hank and get it done. But once your yarn passes that one little section where something's folded back on itself, it's no fun. So just one of those things. I was getting ready to wind it and I thought I should mention that to you all. And of course, we can always wind the yarn for you. Even if you bought it and left the store, you can come back at any time and we're more than happy to wind your yarn into little cakes for you at no charge. Because we like you like that. Charlene, thank you, helps me a lot. Good, excellent. Oh, I'm so glad. This is not going to be the prettiest thing, but I just need to get it so I don't make a big tangled mess out of it. Isn't it gorgeous? That's my next skein for my sweater. Okay, Melissa's keeping me on track and telling me I need to wrap things up so I'm not late picking up Victoria. Okay, so I feel like I went over a lot this time. I hope you got something out of our chat. And again, let me know. Keep putting in the comments if you're interested in a yarn dyeing class. We can kind of keep track of that and let you know if that happens. And a local dyer, if you know somebody in the area, have them reach out to me. Next week, I might talk about kits. I might have some sale kits that I've been putting together for some really cool stuff. I pulled some things from the clearance section and kind of put like sweater kits together, shawl kits together, all kinds of cool stuff. So I might chat about some of that next week too. We'll see. And kits for this probably. All right. I hope everybody has a good week. I hope you were inspired to work on a new project, finish something, get it off the needles, or just keep going, knitting, crocheting, spinning, weaving, whatever it is that makes your heart happy and makes your hands happy. That's what it's all about. So have a great week. I will see you all next Monday because we have two more Mondays before Labor Day. So we've got some time. You've got me for a couple weeks before it's all the way gone, before you miss me for a week. But that's it. I will see you all next Monday. If not sooner, come in and see me at the shop. All right. Bye.